Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And knowing that we're coming back, even better.
Yeah. Who's enjoying Indy, by the way? Good. All right, well, let's jump right in. So, all these coaches have learned a tremendous amount of information. At the end of the day, what happens is between these ears is fear. And so now they're going to go out there and execute all that they've learned. How did you overcome your initial fear of posting on social media and sharing your excitement?
It was kind of hard, honestly. When I started my coaching journey, I was a high school English teacher, and my Facebook profile was private, and I really never posted anything. If you guys went back and looked, I mean, you wouldn't really know what my life was like before Beachbody on social media. I was really scared of what other people would think of me, and really apprehensive to share that I was pursuing something and building a passion outside of teaching. I also kind of felt like, what if my students see me posting something? You know, I just had these weird limiting beliefs and fears that were holding me back. And it was honestly when I shared my very first transformation after completing my first program, when I noticed, and that post didn't even get a lot of traction or a lot of likes or comments, but it was then that I had people reach out to me personally and let me know that I had inspired them. And once I realized that me sharing my own journey out loud with people was inspiring to other people, that's all I needed to know. There was nothing to hide. If what I was doing was going to help someone live a better life and inspire them.
Yeah, it really does take that first step, being vulnerable. So Lindsay, to sort of drill down a little bit more, I am now sharing on social media. I'm sharing my excitement on Instagram stories, Instagram, Facebook, and people are commenting and liking. And I'm scared. I still don't know what to do. Is there a script? Is there an approach? What do you recommend to a coach? What should they do?
You really need to have eyeballs on your posts to see who is liking and commenting. I spoke to my team and I'm like, you have to, invite to the opportunity, to the challenge groups, because typically most people are scared to reach out. They won't come to you and say, what are you doing? What's your job? Kind of thing. So you have to be proactive to see who's watching your stuff, and then simply reach out to them and say like, hey, thanks so much for liking my posts. Are you interested in what I do with fitness or with the business opportunity? So I'm constantly just doing a poll on my page after I post to see who's there. And I make a point to go through my page every single day and reach out to those people.
And so you mentioned your page, or your like page. What if they're following you on your personal page? Any advice on that? Do you just sort of follow up from there based on who has liked, who has commented?
So I grew my business on my personal Facebook page in the beginning, and still most of my traction comes from my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. I do have a fitness page and I do have Instagram. So most of my relationships have been grown organically through my own personal page, even to this day. And it's relationship building, it's connecting, it's establishing trust, and it's being, fearless, going out there and saying like, hey, I have something for you. Would you like to join me? And just being patient with that as well.
So, you come to Summit and it's an incredible environment. You're pumped up. One coach that came here from the UK said it's great to be with thousands of people that are on the same mission. It just gives you energy. Then you go out there into the real world. How do you change that burst of energy and motivation, Emily, and you keep it long term? Obviously, you've done it, 4-time Team Cup winner and executive leader. What would be your best advice on that?
To stay motivated personally, I get that question a lot, like what do I do to stay motivated, whether it's for fitness or business. I hear questions like, or I hear people say, I wish I had your motivation, I wish I was as motivated as you. The reality is I do have days that I don't feel so motivated, and I believe that we cannot wait for like something outside of us to bring us motivation. We have to be very intentional about creating an environment that will help us stay accountable to our goals. And for me, it's more about being disciplined daily. What helps me a lot is always remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'll have like my goals and my why written down everywhere, whether it's my workplace or my fridge. And on the days I don't really feel like it, I still show up and I do it no matter what. And so for me, it's really more than motivation. For me, it's like something temporary. Here you're at Summit, it's like something very extraordinary, exceptional. You're gonna go back home. No one's gonna be behind your computer when you start messaging people and working your business. You have to take responsibility and take ownership and like create that environment that will remind you of why you're doing what you're doing, and you do it every day, even when you don't feel like it or not just coming out of Summit.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say that when you do it, when you don't feel like doing it, it feels like that last rep, you know? But that's what helps you grow.
Yes, for sure. And I feel like anytime I do something, it takes me sometimes to get in the mood, just like a workout. Like it takes me 10 to 15 minutes to get in, but once I'm in and I'm focused, I'm like, I can get it done and go fast, and I feel motivated. So I find motivation through taking action too. So just, you know, working that muscle strength here, and just knowing that you're gonna get into it and just get started.
I also know you're a big fan of Jim Rohn and personal development.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So Aaron, let's switch gears a bit, and you know, we're talking to people that are most likely still working full time and are also building this, you know, their passion business on the side. So you were a full-time teacher, a mother of two, that I think they're here somewhere, by the way, with David, which is exciting. So how did you balance that out, and in terms of daily tasks, how did you go about accomplishing all that and going full-time eventually?
Yeah, I built my Beachbody business, built our team while working full-time as an English teacher, and 2 babies, and married, and it was hard. It really was, and I want to be honest about that. But I was very focused on making sure that I took action every single day. And I did that by creating goals. We all know that. You gotta have a goal that you're working towards, and you gotta take action. And, you know, kind of piggybacking on what Emily said, and you gotta keep yourself motivated to do that. And so, you know, you wake up early in the morning, you stay up late at night, all those kinds of things. But what did I do? I worked my business in power pockets of time. And those power pockets were filled with lists of names. And I built those lists every night before bed. Kind of like did a brain dump of all the people that I wanted to connect with or impact or reach out to or follow up with, so that when I got up the next day, I could just find those pockets. And I didn't always know where those were or when that would happen. Sometimes it was 10 minutes here and there, it was in a car, or it was right after school, or it was during a lunch break, or definitely never when my students were taking a test, you know, never during those kinds of times. But, you know, that happened every now and then. And so, but I found pockets where I could utilize the list that I had intentionally created the night before. I had to have that clear focus, intention when I woke up in the morning, because we all know if you're a parent or you wear many hats in your life, that those distractions can get in the way of taking that intentional, focused action when you have that pocket of time. But if you're like, wait, I've got 10 minutes, who can I talk to right now? And you've already got that name on a list or those names on a list, you can take really great intentional action. And so after 2 years of doing that, pockets, never an hour straight. Ever. Honestly, I hardly still get an hour straight. It's summer break and my husband and my children are home right now. You know, it's still power pockets.
I think that's so key. You know, I think most people have this idea that, you know, you become an entrepreneur, you'll have an office in your home, and it will look like a Wall Street corner office, and you know, you'll have a straight hour to just work on it. The fact that you work for 2 years in those power pockets, they range from 10 minutes to 45 minutes on a commute, actually.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
bits and pieces of time.
Outstanding. So, sometimes you go to Facebook and you see these ads for trainings. Get this training and, you know, you'll explode your business, and spend this and you'll be able to, you know, expand your business or grow your business exponentially. And so if I'm a new coach, again, and I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I don't have money to spend yet in marketing budget, can I grow organically? And if so, how do I do that, Lindsay?
Absolutely, you can grow organically. I had zero intentions of ever doing this full time. I had a corporate job that I liked. I just thought that that's what I was going to do. And I was the coach that didn't buy a challenge pack. It was the 3 payments of $19.95, no Shakeology. And I was just returning back from a mat leave, and I was fired about 6 weeks after I returned. And I didn't have a plan B. We just bought a bigger home, we just started planning our wedding, and it was that day that I went all in with my business, but I also didn't have a disposable income. I had nothing in the bank. And I remember walking up the stairs in my home that day, and of course I came home crying, and I was just ticked. And I was so angry, and I was like, you know what, I'm going all in with this business. And I made it my mission that day, and I said to my husband, I'm like, you're gonna see some stuff on Facebook that you might not like, but I just started sharing organically and authentically about the stuff that my messes, the stuff that I had overcome, the stuff that I was dealing with, struggling with. I'm sure you all have a story, you all have been through something, you've all experienced some sort of heartache or struggle or something, you have a story. And I just put myself out there as a means to give somebody hope and to inspire somebody that maybe they weren't all alone in this busy world of social media. Because it's a lot. I know when I was going through struggles of, postpartum depression and being a single mom and, all that stuff, I just really wanted someone real, not a highlight reel, but just someone real and authentic. So from that day forward, I just started, putting out good quality content of sharing my story, sharing my message, sharing my messes, the good, the bad, the not so highlighted. And I grew organically, so I didn't run ads. Even to this day, I don't invest a lot in ads. Maybe now $90 a month of paid ads. I'll boost a post occasionally, but I wasn't that coach that is running huge ads on Facebook. I just really wanted to connect with people, and that established trust, and that's essentially how I grew organically. So my best advice to you would be real, be a person that would inspire somebody, have zero expectations of earning anything, share your mess, turn it into an inspiring message to give somebody hope, to inspire maybe the uninspired and motivate the unmotivated. And I think you'll find that you will change and your business will go from here to here. And it really is a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing.
So you mentioned sharing your message, and I think that being vulnerable is a theme to be able to connect with people. So is there such a thing as sharing too much mess? Like you've got to share some wins. Do you alternate back and forth? Is there a formula, or do you just go by whatever is happening in your life and you're sharing?
When I lost my job, I knew that I had, because I'm a shy introvert, right? I wasn't intending to be a full-time coach. And I was like, I'm going to have to become more if I want to grow this business. And I really dived deep into my own personal development and getting past those challenges and struggles in my own life. And that's what's beautiful about this job, is that we get to work on ourselves. That's our number one job, is to work on ourselves. And I just started sharing that, and I think it's a fine line of oversharing, right? You have to be very mindful of what you're sharing. But also, you will attract success by the person that you've grown into, right? People are looking for answers, and they are looking for someone that, you probably have what someone needs. And I think if you come at this from a place of, you're doing something great, you're working on yourself, you're empowering people, you're growing yourself, and you share when you've dealt with it. Not while you're in the mix of all the stuff, but you can find the life lesson of maybe what you're struggling with, whether that's being overweight, or maybe you're going through some life challenges, or your divorce, or anxiety, or depression, or financial issues. You share that when you've grown from it, when you've been through it, and then you can turn that story into inspiration and hope to somebody in a positive message.
I think that's really a key nuance there. Sharing once you've gone through it, and there's a lesson to share there. So thank you, I appreciate that. So let's drill down a bit more then. because your message will attract a certain kind of customer or a certain kind of coach. And so we talked about duplication earlier being the key to growth in this business, finding other people like you. So how do I tailor my message to attract both customers and coaches?
Well, for me, it was a big transition, I would say. When I first started as a coach, it was very natural for me to talk about fitness, to share my journey with the programs and the products, but I was kind of uncomfortable talking about the business. And I realized that I had some people coming over to me asking me about the products, but not so much about the business. And the reason was very simple, is because I was not talking about it. So what I like to do and teach my team is to come up with a list of things that make you enjoy being a coach and use that as inspiration for your messages. So maybe not saying, here's why I love coaching, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but if you have that list of reasons why you love being a coach, then you can use those reasons in your Instagram stories, in your daily posts, and just talk about how it's changed your life, how it's improving your life, just like the products are doing for you. So for me, it was the transition, and the more I was talking about it, the more people came to me, and the more I positioned myself as not only a coach that leads challenge groups, but also a leader of a team, the more I attracted people that wanted to be also part of a team. So I feel like what we focus on expands, and the more I talked about it, the more people came to me for the business also, and not just for the products.
So same as, Lindsay's question of, the proportion, did you then go 50-50, or was it based on your business successes and failures?
For the posting?
Yeah, the posting between personal, business, challenge.
I would say it's pretty even. I mean, it depends on my goals too, I would say. So sometimes I'm more into fitness, especially if I'm in starting a new program. So I feel like some of my posts are going to be more fitness driven, but then I become really good or better at implementing the business side of things in my posts. So I feel like right now, especially with stories, we can sort of talk about all kinds of things in one story or one post, but to be intentional and not just think that it's gonna happen. I would say at least 3 times a week, share something that's related to the business if you want people to come to you for that too. So to have that goal and writing down on your business activity tracker or whatever you're using for a tracker, be intentional about it. Just don't think that you're gonna think about sharing it, write it down, and then I would say three times a week at least would be good.
Excellent. Thank you. So, Aaron, so we've done several launches, dating all the way to 80-Day Obsession up to now. We've got a lot of new launches coming up. And for the person that is brand new or doesn't have a system, it could be overwhelming. I know you are pretty organized. You mentioned you are a square, but then a squiggle at the same time. So you have a fun side and you have an organized side. So what's your system? How do you help your coaches maximize the launches?
I love launches, and our team does a really good job with our launches. So I think if you're going to be part of a launch, that the very first thing that you guys are doing is that you're committed to do the program yourself, because then you're going to be really excited about doing it too. And so that's the very first thing. If you're ready to launch Lift 4, then you're all in. I'm going to do Lift 4 too, because at the end of the day, what you're wanting to do is, and it's so natural, it's really natural to launch a program when you're inviting people to try a new program with you. And it makes it so easy to reach out to people. And so I think that's one of the first things you do, is you commit to go all in and do the program yourself. And then the next thing you want to do is be a student of that program and stalk Joel's Facebook and watch his Instagram stories and his IG and read the FAQs and know as much as you can and be a student of that program. Then you want to decide, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to invite people to join me, do it with me. When are we starting? And you need a start date for your program. And mine happens to be that launch day when everything just falls on BOD on the 16th. And so that's my start date. So you have a start date. So then you've given yourself and everyone who's going to join you this deadline to make a commitment so that they can join you in doing this program side by side. And once you do that, you're ready to then start reaching out and inviting people. And as a coach, I think one of the number one things that you can do right now is start doing B4 Lift 4, or we've got Mestamas. You can do whichever program you're ready for, but do those introductory, those prep workouts, and start showing people, giving them a taste of what you're doing on your Instagram stories or your Facebook, and then they can start seeing your excitement, and they're going to want to do it with you. And then you start reaching out to the people who are watching your stories and watching you do these workouts, and you're making lists of people who are like, I would love to do this program with you. Like, literally, I think about that all the time. Like, who would I love to have in this challenge group? Who would be so much fun that I've met recently that would be awesome to have them do this with me? And you make those lists of people that you want to help impact with this program, and you want them with you to lock arms. I like to say that, let's lock arms and do this together. And you make those lists of people that you're gonna invite. But what I really like to do, and this is what I know a lot of my friends and coach friends have been doing, and our team does, is we put people into a launch group or an info group. So you can say, okay, cool, you want more information, let me drop you in this group and I'll show you everything you need to know, and I'll teach you about it. And we'll go live in that group, and we'll create excitement in that group, and we do all kinds of fun things in this info group. And then we're like, okay, it's time to make a decision, in this info group. So you have all these people who are getting information and getting excited about trying this new program with you. And then you have everybody make a decision. It's decision day. And then you celebrate all the people who say yes to you, because people don't want to be left out. And once people say yes and they're ready to join you in this program, I move them over to our actual challenge group where this is going to happen. And I'm like, you guys, Emily said yes, so she's moving on. I'm so excited she's going to do this program with me. And then if Lindsay's like, well, I want to go too, So you create this sense of FOMO, and that's working right now. But I think the key though is I'm really excited about it, and I'm thinking about why this is going to benefit them too, and I'm excited about it impacting them and giving them results.
What I love most about the systems is, to a busy person, which a lot of people are very busy, it's a plug and play. Obviously, you've got to personalize it, bring your excitement, emotion into it, and participate yourself. So last two questions, one to Lindsay, which will be, what's your best advice for finding business builders?
I would say I've never really focused on finding business builders. I've focused on finding people to help. I've never led with a business opportunity, and I hear coaches say I can't find business builders, or my coaches are not doing anything. I think my main focus is when you pour your heart and soul into helping somebody else, that's where the magic will happen. You'll naturally find people that just want to do the business, that will want to share with their friends, that love what you're doing, that want to be a part of what you're doing. But at the same time, you do have to talk about the business opportunity too. And it can be starting small, if you made $40 with the coach, I made $40 my first week as a coach, and I thought that was the best thing ever, because I was just going to work to pay daycare bills, and I thought that's like a shirt for me, a guilt-free shirt. So there's something that you can share on your page, whether that's you were able to buy your kid a book, or you were able to, buy yourself something, get your nails done. There's always something that you can, get people to think differently about the business opportunity, but always focus and shift your perspective of whether you're looking to help people with their health and fitness, or whether you're looking to help people earn an income. They're both very, very amazing tools that you have to give to somebody. I love helping people change their life. I love helping them with their fitness, but I also love teaching people how to make money too, and rocking that side of their life. So aim to first add value and help somebody, and then naturally your business will grow.
Outstanding, and a lot of great information. So it's time, to put all this into practice, Emily. And so to a new coach today that wants to completely change their business by next year, what do they do, leaving Indianapolis, going back to their homes?
Who here is their first summit? Raise your hand. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. Wow, this is great. Okay. We're all different. We all have different ways of building this business. I think at the core, we all have similar values and visions, but we all do in a very unique way, authentic way. And if you've listened to stories since you've been at Summit, you see that there is no perfect mold for the successful coach. And we're all different, but there's one thing I think that we all shared when we were practicing this panel, and we realized that we all decided to believe in ourselves, and we all decided that we deserved a better life, and we were willing to do the work to get there. And I remember my first summit 5 years ago. I was sitting way up in the arena, and I looked at the people walking on the stage, and I felt like I would be there. And I told my husband, I'm gonna be on that stage. And the reason why I wanted to be on that stage is just because I knew if I was there, my business was going well. And I had that vision, I felt it. I feel like this theme this year, to believe in you, is so powerful. And I feel like the first thing that you can start doing is really believe in yourself, starting every day with positive affirmations, looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself that you believe in you, I believe in me, I deserve to be successful. And when you know that, you'll be willing to do the hard work, you'll be willing to push your limits, step out of your comfort zones. And then a second thing I would ask you to do is to lay that vision for next year. So many of you raised your hands. How many of you, of your friends, of your coaches are you going to bring with you next year? What goals are you going to reach? Why are you going to be working on that stage, walking on that stage? Are you going to be rank advancing? Are you going to win the team cup? Whatever that you are striving for, start having that longer term vision, write it down and put it on your calendar and remind yourself every day why you're doing what you're doing, and know that you deserve to be on that stage next year, and think about all the amazing people that are going to join you and are going to experience exactly what you're experiencing right now. So that's what I would tell you to do.
Powerful stuff. A round of applause. How many of you are committed? Outstanding. And please help me thank our panelists, Aaron Young, Lindsay Martin,